I wouldn't eat that. Tastes like balls.
I like balls.
Yeah, well, Dylan, I want to start with you about that motel monologue. I referenced it to you before we officially started.
Sure.
That scene, it's a static shot, it's a slow zoom, and you're expressing so many different emotions there. At first, we get a bit of anger and rage, and then we get that unbridled sorrow and sadness where he can't control what he's feeling physically in that moment. I'd love to know that day on set, the preparation for that scene. How many takes did it take? How did you get in the headspace to execute that moment?
Yeah, well, a couple things. I mean, the writing was the same from day one, and I wanted to honor like every word of it because I just felt like it was so perfect. And I usually do not do that at all. But with this piece, I just felt like it just was so human and raw, and just like you say, like so many real waves of how something like that would spill out of someone. And I just, it was the day marked on the calendar for me, you know, in so many ways. I just tried to learn every word verbatim so that I wouldn't need to be thinking about that on the day and I wouldn't miss one. And then you just let it fly. You don't know what's gonna happen, but I was so connected to that piece of writing and to the piece as a whole and to him at that point that, I mean, like, it just really broke me in the moment, even finally just saying the words, truly.
Very much so, and it's cool too because the camera work in that scene also communicates a great story of the slow zoom and the static shot. The camera work throughout this film is incredible. Your relationship with your DP, Greg Cotton, I'd love to know what that looked like because I referenced this one to you as well. The split screen where we get it realigned at that perfect moment when Roman is talking with his new love interest and all that. Can you talk to me about executing that scene and just, you know, the camera work as a whole as a language in this film?
Yeah, I mean, there was a constructed visual grammar for the film. Quick point of clarification, that was actually a dolly shot, which made it more challenging because there is a zoom shot for the monologue of Dennis's monologue about his twin. But we shifted the grammatic language of both those because we're shifting perspectives. And that was something that Greg and I talked about for the film overall, whether that was shooting on 35 millimeter from the first act and then transitioning into digital with a film emulation, exploring this theme of authenticity versus artifice. But to answer your question about the split screen, it was actually done pretty simply, practically. We just locked the camera off, shot the Roman's monologue. That one actually was a zoom. And then the other side, we locked it off and we just merged it in post.
Amazing. It was so cool to see it come together. I had no idea it was going to align like a puzzle piece in the end. I have one quick spoiler question to wrap up with. Is that fair? And we'll save it until after release.
All right, let's go for it.
So the rekindling between Dennis and Roman in the diner at the very end. I have my own interpretation of why Roman reached out in the first place. I'd love to know for you guys, is this a moment of closure for those two characters or the start of a new chapter in their friendship?
I mean, I hate to give you an anticlimactic answer, but I think part of what we were tracking throughout this film, and I guess the nature of art in general, is you create something and then you leave it, and it is kind of up to the audience to decide. I'd say personally, I have my own interpretation, but I'm really mostly curious in what audiences think. What do you think?
Well, I want to hear what Dylan thinks first.
I don't know whether to protect or share this. I guess I already said it like at a Q&A last night. I personally, I have an optimism about the ending. I mean, not even like an optimism. I think it's there, you know, in that you see them heal, like throughout the scene with each other. You see there's such important, again, it's so well done in the detail. At first he doesn't take the bite of the sandwich and then he takes the bite of the sandwich again. You see the walls coming down. So I do think, I've always felt that, and maybe it says something about my relationship to forgiveness. I think it's important in healing. And yeah, I do think that they survive this at some point. And I do think Roman has a heart for where he was coming from. Again, these guys know each other so well, you know, it was such a special relationship. I don't think that he would just, you know, toss it away. I think I love so much more for Roman's evolution that I think at one point in his life, he would have never forgiven this fuck. You know what I mean? He would have been like, that, you know, fucking piece of shit. But like, but now he's able to, and I think that's like a beautiful piece of his arc, you know?
Yeah, I'll say quickly, I think it's the Marcy element, because I think he realizes when it's girls' night and he's like, do I have any guy friends? My closest one is Dennis.
Yeah,
and the
sure.
fact that they both say, we'll take the check or we'll take it to go at the same time.
Yeah, they finally
now they're
get it.
finally realigned.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
You know, people say, just be yourself. Like, what version of me?